go. All right. Hello, everyone. Final live stream of building test double, mainly because I'll be at LayerCon next week. And actually, I think I'm on a final family vacation the first week in August. So instead of not live streaming for 2 weeks, I figure let's just do it all today. We're gonna juggle a lot of things here. I actually went ahead and got started. So let me catch everybody up, and we'll keep Claude working as we probably open up another terminal to have Claude work on the design, and then maybe yet another terminal to fix some of the things we noticed last week. So let's jump right in. Right here with Claude, basically we are having it kind of outline the documentation. So of course you can build this thing all day long, but unless you have like a really, really good bit of documentation, I don't think you're going to get much traction, especially on a testing library that's somewhat technical. So I had Claude basically use the architecture document that we've been tracking all along to kind of build out these sections and then verify it against the actual shipped code. So I don't know why that keeps popping up. I need to get rid of that. Yes, I know, it's fine. I know when I highlight that you copy. It's all good. Anyway, so here's the top level sections. It just took a quick pass at them. There's not a whole lot of like great copywriting here. I'm gonna need to read through all of this, but for now I think it's there, something's there. So hey Haas, how's it going? Hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. All right, yeah, thanks for joining live. So I think while we're getting set up elsewhere, let's have this churn just a bit more. Mic volume's a bit low. Well, interesting. Yeah, that's my system volume. Don't know. I'm right at, when I speak, I'm right at like 57 according to this little chart here. I think anything more would be a bit much. If it still seems muted, I can crank up the gain, but let's see what some other people say. Let me know if the mic's still a little bit too low. It's saying it's the built-in mic. That's actually probably wrong. That might be the issue. Not the built-in. Let's try this. Is that better? It was using the built-in mic. It should be using my cam mic. Hopefully that's better. I'm seeing yellow. I'm peeking up into the yellow now instead of just midline green. So that should be a lot better, I think. Okay, anyway, we've got these 9 sections. I want to just keep Claude going here, and then we're going to jump over to another thing and use UI.sh to actually design a bit of documentation. Cool. So let's see here. So again, this was kind of a rough pass of like what AI said. I kind of looked at it real quick in the background as it was like scrolling. It's a bit technical, so I want to give it a chance to write this a bit more human. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to point at the Laravel docs because I think they're wonderfully written. Taylor's a wordsmith. I think I'm going to point it to a few pages of the Laravel docs and let it take another pass. So let's just say, great. So I'd like you to read a few pages of the Laravel documentation to simulate its tone and welcoming sentiment. I don't want these, or let's just say, I'd rather these docs match that than some kind of comparison against Mockery or super technical. Here are a few pages. All right, the introduction I think is good. Again, it's nice and flowy. It talks about how it is. And then the controllers just kind of, again, it's good at inviting. It says things like instead, I don't, sometimes when you have technical writing, while it is accurate, it's either a bit dry or it comes off very like binary. I wouldn't go so far as to use the word aggressive. I think binary is pretty good in the sense that, like, I want it to be welcoming, and I think the Laravel documentation does a good job of that. It reads nicely. I think Taylor does. I've seen in PRs where he goes in and really makes an effort to like, instead of like you can, or it's very like you may wish. You may wish to do this, right? Instead of like, you can organize. Like I think spoken wise, a lot of us would say you can organize this behavior, or whatever. You can organize your controllers this way. It's a little more declarative, right? It's like, you may wish. It's very, very floaty, right? Very airy. So let's see what it does with that. Let's fire up a new terminal. Let me jump into workspace, cd test double. I think this is where an application like Solo would fit. I listen to mostly technical or I guess now Token Town, and I definitely have heard about Aaron building Solo. And I personally just hadn't had like a use case. I hadn't been managing multiple things. And like in the last week, I feel like I've now managed like multiple agents, like at a time, or not agents, but multiple instances of like Claude across multiple terminals. So now it's like, I totally see the value of something like Solo now. Not that I didn't see it before, but I just didn't need it. You know me, I'm Yagni. So anyway, let's go here. Let's fire up Claude. I don't think this will overlap. So I think there's like a design skill. Yeah, design. And then we tell it, I want to build some technical documentation pages for, let's see, for a PHP test double library. This would be, well, I don't want to guide it too much. I'm trying to think of what I want to say here. It only has a few sections. You may pull from the docs / readme.md file. Yeah. Let's just see what it does. I don't want to guide it too much. I do want them to be like modern. I do prefer a modern typographical design over something heavily graphic. Yeah, let's see what that does. Let's see what it does. All right, that should kick out UI.sh. I'm pretty sure the docs have something. We'll see. I like Tailwind's docs too, obviously. Let's bring up PHP Storm. Hey Samuel, how's it going? Thanks for joining live. So we got two agents, two Claude instances running here with its own sub-agents. One is making us a design using UI.sh, which is basically Tailwind, to kind of give us an initial design. We'll see what that does. And then in the other background, or the other one, we're seeing here that like, yeah, so we're attempting to train this one slightly. I use train loosely, but we're attempting to tell it, go look at the Laravel docs, learn its tone based on these like 2 pages that I feel like have, pretty good examples of that. And now it's iterating through the docs it wrote strictly off our architectural document to kind of like expand that out a little bit, right? I think that's going to be a better first pass. I'm going to read these myself, probably on the flight up to LayerCon, but I think this will give it a better pass, at least in a tone that I think I would enjoy more, right? I enjoy reading the Laravel docs, right? So we'll see what it does. Matthew, how are you liking UI.sh? Got a license but haven't used it. I like it. I like it a lot. As a tangent, I built this a while back, this retrajectory. This is just kind of like a little finance retirement SaaS thing I kind of built mostly for myself. It one-shotted this. Like, I honestly don't think I changed anything. Like, it made this straight up, and I really liked it. I mean, I tweaked the wording and stuff, of course, but like, as far as the design that's here, like, yeah, it one-shotted that like straight out. I was super impressed. That was like the first time I used it. So, excuse me. I used it for the redesign of my blog the other day too, with a little more guidance. So yeah, here's kind of an example of that. You know, I gave it a little more guidance here. Like I boxed those up. So like that was kind of me. But I mean, I didn't write any code. I didn't write any code. Like this one took a little more prompting because I kind of knew where I wanted to go, whereas the other one was like greenfield, give me a design. But yeah, both of these it came up with. So I've been super happy with that. Design's a tricky thing. Like sometimes when you work with something, you know in your head, even as a developer, like you know in your head like kind of what you want it to look like. You got a feel for it, right? I kind of want it to look like this site, but more with this, but maybe in like white, you know, like you kind of know. So anyway, okay, let's see what it said here. All night files rewritten in the warmer Laravel style voice. You may see, I called out the you may. That's funny. Phrasing throughout, plain declarative explanation is instead of argumentative asides. There you go. Perfect. I like that. The Mockery comparisons pulled almost entirely into the dedicate migration page rather than scattered through every section. Yes, exactly. Cross-reference things were kept consistent across the rewrites of the internal links. Okay, cool. So it clearly picked up on its own, even though like I told the audience, you know, the whole you may and all that stuff and declarative explanations instead of that argumentative asides, like it picked up on that entirely on its own. That's pretty cool. Because that's what we called out. Like it was warm and airy and you may wish and, you know, it's nice. So... okay, this is still cranking, so let's see what that does. I think something else I'm thinking about as far as this is like contributing to the docs, right? And something I really like again about Laravel is if we go look at like github.com/laravel/docs, all of the docs are just here. There's no clutter. They're all just markdown files named for every section, right? Like the upgrade guide, boom, there you go. So like, I want to copy this. I want to have the documentation separate, and then I want to have the bundling of it to be either its own repo or just some internal project that I pull down. But I really like the fact that the markdown files are they're all right here. They're all kind of top level. If anyone wants to contribute, there's not a whole lot of guesswork of like where they have to go look. So whether or not that's like entirely split or whatever, I think they will be split. I don't know if it'll be split from the design. It just kind of depends on what UI.sh cranks out over here. So it's written the docs. We've given it a pass for like the Laravel warmer style voice, according to what Claude said, the warmer Laravel style voice. So we've given it a pass for that. I think that's good enough for now. We don't know if everything's documented. We don't know the quality of things like the code samples. We can look at that when we start getting to design. I think what I would want is we're going to want to render these markdown files into whatever template UI.sh gives us. Part of me is wondering, is that just kind of a super simple one-line deploy script? Or do I need to pull in something heavier like, you know, Wink or Hide or Jigsaw or whatever? I feel like those are all a bit heavy. I would want code styling though, for sure. All right, it seems to be cranking over there. Let's do this. Let's clear this session. And let's say I need a way to build all of the docs markdown files into the site. For the most part, this would be converting. I was thinking in the background, I do have a, what's Francis's thing called? Torchlight. I do have a Torchlight license, so I should be able to use that for the code styling. So yes, let's also mention that. Converting the markdown into HTML while also styling any code samples. I have Torchlight. It should know what it is, but let's just say Torchlight syntax highlighting. Let's just give it a reference. Let's just see what it comes up with. All right, let's see. Claude wants to use your browser. Okay, fine. That's fine. I can live with that. Add to Chrome, I guess. Did we do it? Add to Chrome. Add it. Do it. Oh my goodness, am I gonna leak something here? It wouldn't be a JMax stream if I didn't leak something. All right, cool. Did you do it? I did it. Continue with browser tools. All right. All right, where is this? Good, the source content was updated since I last read docs, is untracked, likely mid-revision. Okay. Okay, so it's building something. Can we see this ourselves? Okay. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It is funny that it's like super, super close to the Laravel docs as far as the design. I mean, it's almost like hilariously verbatim. Like it makes me wonder if UI.sh like redesign. Did they like say that it did? I don't remember if they did or didn't. What's going on here? Oh, is this just here? Claude started debugging this browser. All right, fine. So yeah, I don't think I would need the sidebar. I don't know if I need the side navigation. Like, look at some of these pages. Like, they only have 2 or 3 things. I mean, I guess this has a couple things, but is it worth it? I'd almost rather that just be at the top if you wanted to jump, you know? This has more. Argument matching has more. There's a lot here. I mean, I can't say I'm wowed with the design, but I'm pretty happy with the structure. I guess we would leave this. I mean, it's what we're used to. You got to think my crossover audience is like, if people are going to use this, it's likely that they know me and then therefore they are in the Laravel community. So I feel like having this feel similar and reflect Tailwind and Laravel and Livewire and PHP Pest and all that stuff, like it probably makes sense that the design's close. Is this a little flat? Yeah, it's a little flat. It's a little flat. I did tell it, in fairness, I did tell it like modern typographic like layout. I think with some dark mode code samples and so forth, I think we'd get a little farther. All of these are always PHP, so like I think that tag is unnecessary as well. Oh, I see what they're doing. I mean, some are other things, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, Torchlight will help with that, like Torchlight dark mode. That'll give it some love. Yeah, let's see what it's saying. Looks solid. Thanks. Oh my God, I gotta get rid of this. Don't show this again. Thank goodness. All right, where are we here? It's figuring out torchlight. Yeah, no token yet. Single theme first, dual light and dark modes. Yeah, I think a single theme is fine. All right. Yeah, I mean, I could tweak this design all day long. I feel like I'm not too worried about that. We'll give it a couple things. We'll have it do a couple things. I'm a little more interested in marrying up the two, right? That would be what I'm more interested in. Oh, look, it's checking mobile. That's cool. That's funny. Yeah, there's definitely some things to it I would want to fix, but I'm not that worried about it for now. Let's see what this is doing. I dug into Torchlight, actually works. It's official common mark. Okay, cool. So yes, that can be a simple script, a build script using that. Markdown HTML plus a small native Torchlight HTTP client, no Laravel, no node needed. Reusing the exact page template already baked into docs-site.html. Two things worth deciding. Okay. Yes, we do have the token. All right. Let's let it finish up. I'm curious what this script looks like. I'm assuming it's a PHP script. Yeah, PHP build step. If it's just a single script, then I would probably just make like a build folder in the docs thing. And then basically that would end up dumping to like Cloudflare pages. I probably is what I would think. So yeah. Yeah, I always leak something. We'll see. Matthew, just mobile amateur hour, needs to check my smart fridge and smartwatch. Yeah. I didn't install the this Claude plugin on my Mac, so I wonder how it like did that there, but whatever. Okay, the mobile drawer scrim and the hamburgers swap out correctly. 0.js, cool. This is functioning. Polished result. It's really like patting itself on the back, isn't it? All bundled. All right. I'm curious what this script looks like. I want to see what this script looks like. Let's get into test double. Let's get into the editor here. There are more things I want to fix with the library, just to be clear, but I think today we're down the rabbit hole of making a quick docs. Documentation pages. It's hilarious that the default, I'm finding it really funny that the default UI.sh basically just copied Laravel. I mean, Tailwind has that too, and Livewire. So they all have a very, very similar docs. So clearly the underlying like design guidelines of Tailwind had a place on all those documentations. I mean, clearly. Okay, cleanly, exactly. Okay, cool. Built a 9-page document site in docs site generated from your docs. Okay, cool. Design modern typography as requested. No illustrations, cards, or decorative graphics. Enter blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. 3-column technical approach. Since the repo has no JS build tooling, it's a pure PHP library. I use Node plus marked only as a one-time author aid to convert. Okay. So what we'll probably do is when it finishes the script in the other one, we'll come to this one and say, okay, hey, I have this script. Can you get these two together for me? So let's let this one finish, and then we'll pare down to one terminal here. But let's go look at what it actually did. So it is saying that we got docs. So perfect. Here's the docs. So 1 through 9. And then it made docs site. So it basically just copied these over. Cool. And these are full pages. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I can live with that. And it copied them over to here. To doc. Oh, sorry. The other way around. It copied them from docs to doc. Okay, cool. Yeah. That makes sense. And then where's the script that it's building? Is it making one? It's got to be making one. Yeah, so I mean, minus... I think we need like some accent colors and stuff going on here. I see where it kind of messed with the dark double there. So I think UI.sh has other skills. I mean, they definitely have other skills like brand. I think they have like a brand image skill and so forth. So like I can dial that part in to get some like other colors. I think the general layout though here, I'm pretty comfortable with. I think we can turn these things into icons. I think we could probably snazzy up these two different sections, and again give them some other accent colors just for a little bit more pop. It's a little flat. But yeah, I think the center part though is nice. I think this is good, provided I get some touched up code samples, which we will with Torchlight. So let's let this finish. Okay, what is this? The build script is done and generates the exact same site structure as your mockup, verified against. Okay, cool. The one part I can't verify without the token is actually Torchlight API. Do you want to plug in a Torchlight token? Ship the script as is, already degrades gracefully with plain text without the token. Okay, no. Yeah, let's just leave it for now. Okay, so what does this do? Simple script in bin build docs. Okay, I'm cool with that. Run it via composer docs build. Cool, thanks. Okay, renders those reusing the exact template sidebar pager rewrites cross chapter MD into HTML. Wraps GitHub flavored markdown tables in table wrap and generates the same. Okay, fine. Talks to Torchlight directly over its API. Cool. Batch 30 blocks at a time. No node, no Laravel. Torchlight's own common mark package pulls in Laravel internals, which didn't fit this plain. Cool. So he skipped it. 20 line curl. Fine. Reads the token from Torchlight token. Without it, code blocks renders plain text, same as your markup looks today. Okay, so we need the token to make this render better. I verified the generated output against your hand-built mockups, blah, 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 and ran it clean through Pint. Okay, so what I'm curious about, are these template, like where do the templates live? That's what I'm curious about. What did it call this? Yeah, so are the, let's say hand-built mockups templates, or are you replacing their content each time? Question mark. I'm trying to understand what the script does. Neither. I've also noticed that about Claude lately. Probably about 2 weeks ago, it really got very like, it's not dodgy, but it's like, I don't know. It's gotten like a little wordy, or like, instead of just like these straightforward yes or no's, it's kind of like, not really. Let me tell you exactly. You know, and it's like, but it does it like 3 different ways. It's very annoying. I don't know. It doesn't talk right, in my opinion. Okay, so the docs cited aren't used as templates by the script. It never reads them. I read them once by hand to figure out the exact HTML shell. Okay, fine. And copy that structure into a PHP here doc. Oh, wow. Okay. See render page. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, we should go look at this script. I feel like it's kind of big. From then on, the script treats docs purely as build output. Yes, I'm fine with that. Every run regenerates all of them. I'm cool with that. So the real template now lives in the PHP script itself. Okay, that's a little concerning. Okay, how many lines is this? This is 300 lines, but in fairness, it's it's almost 400 lines. But in fairness, about 70 of that look to be the template. And about 40 of them are like just imports whatever. So it's about 300 lines. I'm sure we could clean this up and trim it down. But a 300 line script that does everything we need is pretty okay with me. I'm just trying to think on this template. There's some things that are going to need to be done. There's some additional things that are going to need to be done, I think, to get this all working nice and well. So a couple of things. We're going to need, I don't want to go down the road of front matter. We're going to need some titles and page descriptions. I think just from a standard browser like SEO type thing, right? We have like this argument matching test double up at the top. I think the title's not too bad. I think the descriptions probably will need to be handcrafted a little bit. That could be in an array here. I think what I would want to see, I don't want to have to go, like if I'm going to edit, the other part of this is if I'm going to edit the template, I don't want to have to like go do that in PHP down here. You know, especially all escaped and weird crap like that. Now I don't, because of like the table of contents and all that stuff, I don't know exactly what that looks like. I think what I'm envisioning is probably this. I'm probably envisioning a situation where what I want to do is I want to pack the docs under one folder. I want to have the markdown files top level. I want to potentially have the bin script to build things. And underneath the bin script, potentially a template. Or at the top level even, templates. And the template is mostly the HTML page, which maybe has some like Blade-esque placeholders in it. I think that's what I would like to do. And then when you generate it, it goes under a build folder that is get ignored theoretically. Maybe not get ignored depending on how we deploy, but I think that's the structure I want. So let's get it doing that, and then let's see if what it can put in the build matches what we see in Doc's site, right? That's what I would like to do. And then we'll stop there. Let's do that. And maybe I'll plug in my Torchlight thing off screen here so we can get it to do that. Yes, let's split it out into a separate template file. First, move bin under docs, then make a templates as well. You may need to break out the sidebar and nav if necessary. I want to ensure if I need to edit the HTML, it is easy enough to do as HTML and not PHP concatenated strings. All right, let's see what it does with that. to that point, it's probably going to need to... yes. Also, I will eventually break out this docs into its own project. So please create, I'm being so nice, please create a separate composer.json for the dependencies this docs needs. That way they are separate from the actual test double library dependencies. All right, let's let it churn on that for a minute. I don't think we're gonna need this anymore, so let's, one open question since docs isn't committed. Yeah, you're fine. All right, let's get out of there for a minute. Okay, let's let it churn on that. So theoretically, when we're done here, well, here, while we're waiting on this, let me see if I can dig up my torchlight. All right, just me for a second. Let me see if I can find my torchlight. It's around here somewhere. Torchlight, torchlight. Where are you? Where would I have that? I would have it, yes. Okay, hold on. I've got it on my Mac because I just redid my blog the other day. So I definitely have it there. Where would that be? Config. Torch. Oh, .env. Okay, yeah. Cat. All right, how can I get that on my Mac? Let's see here. Let's try with that. All right. Let's quit out of there. Don't want that to happen. And then let's open up a terminal so I can actually set this. I guess it's expecting it as an env. Crap. Well, let's just export it. Let's see what happens. Export torchlight token. Did it do it? All right. I think. All right, I closed that. I closed my other stuff. I'm gonna try not to leak anything. Okay. All right. I closed everything that had that token up. Now I guarantee you when I tell Claude where it is, it's gonna be like, oh, found it, here it is. We'll see. Claude's actually pretty decent about not printing out tokens. Let's see here. All right, so what's it trying to do here? Render template, page, title, site name, description. Okay, so now I have a hook for a description, so that's good. Okay, byte for byte identical output before the refactor. Let's do a final sanity pass. Cool. Everything's clean and isolated. Okay, cool. Set torchlight token. Okay, now let's have it output in build. Verified the generated is byte for byte identical before the refactor. Pint passes. Okay, so it's still putting it in doc site. It's claiming it's byte for byte compatible. Okay, so let's output to build underneath the docs folder instead. Leave docs site alone. Or well, before any of your changes, so we can compare to what we're about to build. I also set the torch light token in my env. All right, let's see what it does. And then we can go back here to test docs, and we should, once it makes, theoretically, when we see the build folder show up here, yeah, when we see the build folders show up, we should be able to use just a simple PHP browser to serve that. And we'll see what it looks like. And if that all works, then hey, we got docs. We got some docs. Oh, did I break something in? There we go. I'm back. That's me. Okay, it's doing stuff. ls-lt. Okay, so it's got bin, it's got readme, it's got vendor. Fine. We're not going to commit all that stuff. All good. So it won't be exactly like the Laravel docs repo in the fact that it won't be only markdown files. We could probably put bin under templates, and even vendor and all that stuff could just live underneath bin. So could build, theoretically. If I use Cloudflare Pages, build will probably have to be part of the repo. So we'll see. The point is I could pack all this down so it's not as top-level ugly. Which I might. I might come up with a different name than bin and just put the templates. The only reason I'm leaving templates top level is, again, if somebody wanted to adjust the design of the documentation. That is also in the repo, which I think is good. So let's see what these look like. We got page, pager link, interesting. Sidebar item, okay. Oh, it's got indentation built in. That's nice, I suppose. We got items, all right. Table of content item. Let's just tweak that a little bit. There we go. Whoops. Let's do that. I don't know why that would matter. Pager link, interesting. And then page itself. I don't know why it's putting those there. Where's the close for this? Oh, it's the shell, okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right, did this finish? I finished wiring up the new path, and but the build itself needs torchlight token. It's not visible in the shell this tool uses, even though you set it in your own env. Those are likely different shells. You can export it into this session directly. Type okay. Let's just get it. Let's get it to work. Hold on a second. All right, full screen meme. Get the freaking token. So let's get into notes. And let's drop in this token. Shell mode. References. Last pass. Torch token. Boom. All right. It's visible here, so let me wait till Claude gets past this rebuild. I might have to clear the session. All right. Yes, I know it puts it into the conversation history. I like how Claude's like, oh, hey, do this. And then I do it, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't have pasted that here. It's in its history. All right, hold on. It's almost past the visible window here. What's going on in the chat? All right, okay, got real torchlight highlighting, blah, blah. Okay, we're past the window now. Cool. Let me go not full screen me anymore. Hello, there we go. All right. Can you give me a PHP? Give me the PHP command to run the build folder using PHP's built-in server. So it's like PHP-S, I think, is what it is. Nuno, hey, welcome, Nuno. You going to? Of course I'm going to LairCon. What are you talking about? Of course I'm going to LairCon. Duh, man. Then open. Okay, cool. So let's run this over here. Whoops, not that. Let's run this over here. We're actually in docs, so let's change this to build. And let's click this. Hey, all right. Cool. Yeah, bad theme, and we want Torchlight to never use line numbers, so we can configure that. But hey, look. Where were we? This. So let's get the same page here. Let's go to argument matching. Argument matching. Argument matching. There we go. So yeah, visually the same. Byte for byte, as Claude said. Pretty good. I'm getting like a weird... I don't know if that's something to do with getting like a weird highlighting here. You seeing that? That's weird. I think that's probably something to do with this Claude tab. Yeah, I think Claude is technically still controlling those. What is it? How do you go away? I don't understand that part. Anyway, it had like this weird haloing that was going on. Haas, not Laravel Live DK. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about going to that and submitting. I had submitted to Laravel Live London, hoping that I would go to it. Didn't really hear back until kind of last minute, and then it was like, I think it was after the submission for DK. So like, I try to only do one international conference a year, just kind of like, I'm a family man now. I would love to go to all of them, but I was kind of holding out for Japan, didn't happen. Then I was holding out for Laravel Live, didn't happen. And then it was like, I kind of missed the window on DK. So anyway, all right. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. Oh wait, that's not the same one. We are here is what we're trying to be. Yeah. So if we go to argument matching, there we go. Introduction, argument matching. Can't be reached. Whoops. Let's go back to introduction. Okay, so we're line for line, like design for design, pixel for pixel. We're good here. The only thing that sucks on ours is this. So let's spend 1 minute fixing that. So let's just say, can you adjust the Torchlight configuration so it's dark mode and never uses line numbers. Let's get, I forgot exactly what theme I use on my blog, but I like it. Let me find out. Let's find out what we use. The line numbers should be quick. And then, so yeah, I think minus some very minor design things, like I'm okay with this, right? The bar is not necessarily Laravel. I mean, obviously you want a high bar, so I want a high bar, and I think UI.sh got us pretty close to that. Again, I'm gonna make some tweaks, but you know, again, not to be like argumentative or combative as Claude put it, but like if you go look at like Mockery's docs, like, you know, I don't even know where they are. Did I click the wrong thing? I think I clicked the wrong thing. I mean, so, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I think once we dial in those couple more things I want, I think we're starting from a good place is the simple point I'm trying to make. All right, so line number is now globally disabled, and the theme is fixed to GitHub dark, no longer environment overwritable, so the build can't accident. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Did it republish? Yes, rebuild. Oh wait. Can you, or well, you know what? I should rebuild this. How do I rebuild so the shell has access to my token? Don't print it out, Claude. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm trusting you. I should have just said, how do I run the build script? I'm assuming it's like PHP, bin build docs. I'm assuming that's what it is. Let's find out. No, that's not exactly what okay, so, sorry, hold on, here we go. Okay, edit your bash, yeah. After that, fine. Set up, you can just tell me rebuild the docs and I'll run composer build without need. Okay, so it runs composer build. Let's just do that. Composer build. Torchlight not set. What? That can't be true. Oh, well, we just killed the... Torchlight is set. Urgh. I need to like bite the bullet and make it a .env. I'm gonna run into this problem 1,000 times. Let's make the Torchlight token part of the project somehow, such as in .env. This is just gonna keep happening. I'm so used to .env files, like in all my Laravel projects, and I use it in Shift too, which is not technically Laravel. It's just going to be easier to set there than for me to like. I just bounce between too many machines sometimes. Like sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there. Every now and then I'll use my wife's machine. Like, it's just kind of like. Let's just make it a .env. I'm almost positive. Well, no, I fired up a new shell. That's what it was. Oh, of course. And then it fucking leaked it. Fucking Claude. Whatever, I'll fucking rotate it in a minute. Oh my God, you're killing me, Claude. Let's just get it done. I like how it's like, don't paste it here, it'll be in the history. And then it just prints it out. All right, cool. Wouldn't be a JMax stream if I didn't leak it. Hey, there it is. It built it for me. All right, thanks a lot. Okay, so composer build. Yeah, you get it for like the next 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go rotate it. I'll have to message Aaron Francis. I don't even know what my login is anymore. I bought it like years ago. Okay, did it build it? I need to make it like a serve command now. I'm still seeing the old stuff. I'm still seeing GitHub. I'm still seeing a light theme even after composer build. What did I miss? .ignore, la 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 la. One thing worth noting, since you already have your token from earlier conversation. Yeah, thanks. I know. Now I gotta go rotate it. Then I gotta go update all my sites. Oh my God. Annoying. No life esteem is out licking. What? Oh goodness. All right, confirm the issue. Looks like the code. Okay, yeah. Come on, get it done. Get it done, Claude. I want to see the dark mode. And let's probably also go ahead and get out on Torchlight. Torchlight.dev. Log in. Hope it still works. let's create a new one. Here we go. Let's create a new one for, what's it called? This will be called Test Double. Create. All right. And then I guess the one I just leaked was for my blog. So I'll have to rotate that. No problem. All right. So I got a new one to put here. Can you make me a composer serve command that will run the PHP built in browser? All right, we'll do it over here for now. It already is. All right, so we should be able to refresh, and yay, we got the dark theme. All right, cool. It's better. It's probably not my favorite theme. I'll go look through the themes. We might even make a custom one if Claude's savvy at it. So, okay, well, there you have it. We built the docs using UI.sh. It seemed to model heavily off of Laravel Livewire Tailwind docs with the sidebar, you know, triple column kind of thing. Typography down here. I think this looks pretty good. I'll probably use the branding skill to kind of tweak some of this stuff, to put some iconography up here, over here. Maybe we'll throw in some kind of search as well at the top. You know, give it those final touches that make it, you know, again, look and feel like these other docs, right? Just some touches. Why not? I think some more iterations pretty easy there. But again, I think the comparison between this and other testing libraries out there, this, you know, I think we're doing all right. Good start, right? So, good enough for now. I think I'm going to give it some more passes, but this all gets built, all works. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it a few more bits. There are still some things I want to change in the library itself. As we saw last week, me using it directly, like, I think there's some nuance there. So there may still be a potential stream where I dog food, you know, maybe this section. You know, I think there's still some more of this in the future. So there probably will be another live stream. But my goal will probably be to actually make this live in like a 0, you know, a 0.1 version as I head to Laracon next week. So that'll be the goal. So yeah, I'll probably do some chatting with Claude while I'm at the airport, launch it. And that way, yeah, if you're there and you've been watching, come say hi. Let me know what you think. But yeah, you know, it's out there now, technically speaking. But I don't think it's very usable without A, documentation, and B, me finalizing some of the rough edges we saw when I dog fooded it myself the other week. But it is functional. I just want to clean it up. Give it a better chance at a first splash. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining live. In the next 5 minutes, that Torchlight token's not going to work anymore. So sorry, but all in good fun. See y'all in a couple weeks.